Hello everybody, welcome to How to Play Like a WoP Pro. Today I'm going to be showing you a replay in the CS63 on Airfield. This isn't something that I've done in a while, a replay review. If any of you are new, this series is How to Play Like a WoP Pro, where I teach you how to get better at World of Tanks, DPG wise and otherwise. I just wanted to state at the start of the video, if you guys enjoy my videos and you want to support me, the best way to do that would be to share these videos with your clanmates or your friends if you think that it would help them as well if it's helping you. Otherwise, don't bother. But also, if you like the video, please like and subscribe. But anyways, without further ado, let me get into what I like to do on this map in light tanks and fast medium tanks. And by fast medium tanks, I mean tanks that are faster than like the 907, for example. So not a 430U, but tanks like the Bat Chat, the CS63, and the Leopard 1 can all do this play, as well as light tanks, like I said. So the play is, it only really works from this spawn. You can do it from the other spawn as well, but it's not nearly as good. This side has a huge advantage up here. It's to go to A6. So you want to take the quickest route possible and just cut across this field, as you'll see me doing here. And I'm going to be teaching you some tips about how this position works and some tips on how to avoid damage when playing this position and how to get the most out of it. So first, turn your turret to the left, see if somebody else is YOLOing like this. And once you get up here, what you want to do is knock over these trees in this kind of orientation here. So you want to knock them over so that they block this area right here, so that when you play this rock, you can poke this corner and you'll be covered by the trees. And that will allow you to shoot down this lane right here, where the enemies basically have to drive up to get into this area, and it's an extremely strong position for just being very annoying to the enemies. So as you can see, I try to knock over all the trees. Don't get all three of them, and I don't knock them over perfectly, but this one tree is in a great spot so that when I peek this corner here, I'll be covered and I won't get lit until I fired on this position. Now if you miss the trees or you're worried that you're going to knock them over incorrectly and that they won't cover you here, which is very important that they do. If you're in a single shot tank, so not like Bat Chat, but like a CS63, if you have some HE shells, you can just drive straight to the rock and then just HE these trees down to cover you here. Just make sure you hit behind the trees, like right there, right there, right there, so that they are knocked over in the correct orientation. So now that we're here, I'm gonna knock over this one tree just to give me a little more camo. Try to see if I can cover any gaps through these trees. I don't think it really did anything, but it was worthwhile. I'll show you how this position works. So you just peek here, and you just free farm basically. You peek, you get unlit, and then you poke again and shoot them. Now, what happens a lot of the time when you play this position is people will just end up stopping there and just staring at you for the rest of the game. So there are definitely some tips that I'm going to tell you about on how to deal with that, basically, because you don't want to just be sitting here doing nothing if possible. So let me also talk about a few things that you need to watch out for when playing this position. So like I said, people will stare at you, and not only will they stare at you, but they're going to blind shoot you, and that's probably one of the most important things to know is how to avoid their blind shots, and I'll be telling you and probably showing you how to do that later on in this video. I don't remember if I get blind shot a lot, but I can at least tell you how to avoid that. The second thing you need to watch out for is artillery. Since they updated this map, artillery has much worse firing lanes on this middle area here. So if you're lit or they know you're there, it's pretty likely that they're going to try to shoot you, even if it's blind. So keep that in mind as well. Try to stay already safe as best you can if you know they're reloaded. Lastly, if you poke this side of the rock, there's no bush obviously, so you gotta watch out for that. But also, the TDs back here will be able to shoot you. So if you're pulling back into cover, make sure you don't back up too far, or else the TDs will get a line of sight on you. So right here, I see the 140 has taken this position. And damage on this guy is very important, because if you're able to kill him, then it sometimes means you're able to progress further along these rocks. Although it is risky, it's more of an end game move. But if you see an opportunity to get free damage on them, like if they're peeking right here, then definitely focus them before you focus this. They're more important. Now when it comes to enemies blind shooting you here, if they're just staring at you like this guy is, a lot of the time what you can do is get delit, and then instead of just poking again right after you are unlit, that's pretty obvious to them and they're just going to blind shoot you. And you have to realize they're going to go delit as well. And what they're going to do is use their sixth sense as a cue to fire at you. And so what you want to do is get delit, come to the corner, and then just poke out with your gun pointing this way, because you have a spotting port right on the edge of your gun. You just want to quickly go boom, boom, just there and back, and just poke your nose out, basically, spot them, and then pull into cover. Wait for them to blind fire, and then poke. That's the trick to getting around that. Now here I see this BZ has backed off, and this 140 is down some HP, and I'm full HP, so I'm going to take this opportunity to just get him out of the game. Now I go for a track shot here. My team farms him, which is great. I don't want to overpeak too much for him, because this spot right here will be able to shoot me. Now it's possible they have TDs back here, but it's kind of unlikely. So it was kind of just a calculated risk, and as you can see, I did get hit by a waffle. He's around here, but thankfully it bounced. But regardless, now I'm in a more advanced position, and they have a Yag Tiger right at this rock too. I'm using this indicator, lining up this top of my reticle or whatever with the indicator, and that will tell me exactly where they are, at least in horizontal space, not in vertical space, but in horizontal space. And so that's why in my settings for my reticle, instead of turning this off, this load indicator, and this indicator, I keep it on, because this little hash mark here just makes it much easier to line up where damage is incoming from, and it also allows you to blind shot them back. Now from the other side, you kind of have to play here, because this is the only spot with a bush, but it's not nearly as good as this side. If you try to progress up here, there's just nowhere to it's really hard to shoot unlit, and you're just kind of perma-spotted, and you're much more vulnerable to arty, and you're really just stuck here for the most part. It still is doable, it's just much harder. But there's actually a trick on the other side. If you're in a tank which has enough height, and which has a little bit of gun depression, and nobody's here, and nobody can spot you from out here, you can actually, at this rock that I'm at right now, you can drive up on this ramp, and you see these bushes right here on the edge of this rock. You can actually poke into those bushes, unlit, spot tanks here, and then back up and shoot them. It's a really cheeky play. It's very risky, because if you get lit, then you will get shot from this TD location back here, where the FV is. But it is something good to know, because occasionally it comes in handy. Now I've killed this 140. You can kind of do the same thing from this side, where you poke through this little gap in the rock, but there isn't a bush to cover you, so you will get lit. But now that I've killed the 140, I want to actually back out, because it's not useful to progress any further, really. I'm just going to be pushing into TDs, and I won't be able to spot them, and then we'll just be able to shoot me in return. So I decided to come back. This game is slowing down. There's no incentive to try to push. I'll occasionally keep pushing if my team is just winning heavily. I'll just push like this, and then push into their spawn and just receive the damage and get below them. But they still have plenty of tanks alive in this kind of area here, so it would be a terrible idea to push like this, because I'd be pushing into a crossfire. But now I'm just playing patiently, still using these bushes, trying to catch this BZ off guard. And I remember from earlier that Yag Tiger shot me from there, that bush right there. And so what I'm going to do is go for a blind shot on him. I'm double bushing just to make sure I don't get lit. He is within my spotting distance, except I do get lit anyways. Not entirely sure how that happened. Maybe there's some gap in this bush that some enemy had an angle on me, but... And there's the arty. Like I said, arty loves to shoot you at this position. Now I just saw something shot at me from the left somewhere. This is a bat arty, by the way, so instead of poking now that I'm unlit, I'm just going to stay completely safe because it's pretty likely that he's just going to keep blinding me. I'm waiting for the third shell, but if I recall, it never comes. So now I just want to peek this corner, check out if the BZ's there. And I know something shot at me, so I want to go see if I can find them. And it looks like that was the guy who shot me, the E100 there. Just waiting for him to peek. Unfortunate bounce, I was pretty likely to pen, but it just missed my target. And here I'll show you, I think I'll probably show you how the blind shotting thing works, how you bait people. So I've been unlit. I waited a little bit longer than I needed to because I'm unlit right now, but I wanted to wait a little bit longer just in case he randomly fired. And then as you can see, I'm pointing my gun that way. I'm just peeking just enough to spot him, trying to bait him into blind firing. And it works. He just fired, and now that he's fired, I get the peek advantage on him, and I can just wait here and wait for him to peek. And a lot of the time when you're on a corner like this, and the enemy fires, instead of, like, if they fire, a lot of the time you want to hold angle. Like, you get a free shot in, there's no reason not to just keep poking unless there's some risk of taking damage. So I obviously take it. I mean, it's kind of obvious in this situation, but there are other situations where it's not as obvious, and I see people not take advantage of the fact that they have the peek advantage. The enemy just fired. So I get a free shot onto him, get a cheeky shot there. Bro, the fly just literally just went into my nose. Oh my god. Okay, I'm just gonna pretend it's not in there. Oh my god. No, I gotta pause. Okay, I got it out. I'm just glad it was like a tiny little gnat thing, so it wasn't terrible, but holy shit, that was gross. So I kind of get the feeling that my team is in a decent position now. There's much less tanks in this area, and their E100 is low. So I'm thinking about playing aggressive sooner or later, but I can't do it yet. Just looking for damage on that E100. I'm keeping in mind that there is already, so as you can see, I'm kind of trying to stay safe from them as best I can. Now I'm delit. And I think I make an aggressive play here, at least that's what I would be thinking right now, because their Yag Tiger's not looking. I was going to blind shoot the arty, but I decided to just go for the guaranteed damage here. Their TDs are lit. Just free shots, basically. And I should say that this play that I'm doing right now, at least in my experience, you will occasionally die to blind fire, and just arty, and just, or you'll just go down to a one shot and then you won't be able to risk poking. But it does work most of the time if you're in a good tank for it. But it's not like a reliable play to get a ton of damage, usually. You will have good games like this one. But it's mostly just like you're extremely annoying here. And this map isn't great for mediums anyways. So I still like this play. But I just want to let you know that the middle is still viable compared to this play. You don't have to do this in a medium or light tank. Fast, medium, or light tank, but it's just the most enjoyable play for me because I feel like I can outplay enemies and stuff. So I see the game is ending. I'm just gonna drive in. There's not really much to talk about. It's just I'm relatively healthy and there's not much left on their team. You can see what's unspotted. It's just a waffle. I know he's back here, and then there's the arty. So there's nothing else here. The Yag Tiger's gone. He's dead. So. Heads up awareness right here. I see that the concept is coming, and I don't want to get caught in a crossfire, so I focus him instead of shooting the E4. I'm trying to bait him, so I was turning my gun this way to try to get him to peek me, but my teammates just kill him anyway. Now I have HP here, and this comes to another important topic. When you have a lot of HP at the end of a game that you're winning, you want to use that HP to get more damage if it's not too risky. So in this case, it's not too risky because I can still take a hit from the waffle. So I just took a hit from the E4 and just traded with him. Now looking back, it was kind of risky, but I don't know. I don't think it was necessarily a bad play. It was just kind of a risky play. Because that waffle could have been looking in another direction for all we know. But now I'm a one-shot. I'm trying to use this bush, but I decided I want to close the distance. Because I still have bushes in between me and him, which I can use. And I have HE loaded for him. What I'm trying to do here, instead of going in close and getting proxied by him, and then he's just going to turn and shoot me, I know that if I come in and I'm reversing away from him, he's going to catch me because I'm simply not fast enough with my reverse speed, because the reverse speed of the CS63 is terrible, especially without turbo, and I don't think I have the field mod for reverse speed either. So I go wide, and my plan is to do a little arc. I'm hoping he's looking the other way, shoot him once with HE, and then do a little arc, and just drive forward rather than backwards to get away. And unfortunately, my HE shell hits his gun, which is really unlucky, and he almost gets me here. But my plan did work. I intuition to APCR here to try to shoot this guy. And we managed to snipe him. At this point, I thought the Artie was still alive. That's why I'm looking here. The Batchet Artie. I don't know what I was thinking. I guess I just wasn't paying attention. But yeah, their Batchet Artie is dead. So I'm doing this for no reason. But eventually I realized. Actually, I didn't even realize he was dead. Still, at this point. I just saw that our AE phase 1 proxy this, and I knew he wasn't there. So I just thought he was like in some random ass spot. But yeah, he's dead. So here I have the HE loaded again. Terrible shot. Worst shot of the game. It's a shame too, because that could have been 500 more damage. But at least I get the HE shot there. Well, it would have been 500 more, because my team would have brought him down further. But still, bad miss. And we end the game with 7,400 damage and 1,700 spotting. 4 kills as well. So yeah, hopefully this video helped you. Maybe you're... I have a feeling that a lot of people don't really know what to do on Airfield. It's an extremely campy map. Even though Wargaming like tries to balance maps, but like map balance is not the only thing that matters. It also has to be an enjoyable map to play, and I think they kind of overlook that. With Airfield, the only good thing about these changes is that Artie can't shoot you as much, and then this play is kind of fun. That's pretty much it. The rest of the map is like the same, except there's some... You can't play the perches as well, because they don't have as good of shots. You can't play this position as well, because it doesn't have as good of shots into the heavy lane. I mean, this position here, you can't shoot here anymore. So I don't really think they improved the map really all that much, but that's just my opinion. Alright, like I said at the beginning of the video, if you enjoy these videos and they help you, please like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. I just recently quit my job, so I could really benefit from some extra income from YouTube. And please share it with your clan members in Discord or something, or with your friends if you think that they would enjoy it and that it would benefit them too. Alright, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.